called King Blue and Pearly. He was called King Blue, though he always wore yellow. He sang what he knew, he was a most righteous fellow. Honey in his voice, he was never afraid. There was snow on the ground when December froze early. No friends came around except a lady named Pearly. She'd made the hard choices and she would not back down. They made small talk while he searched for an opening. Then they went for a walk, and they walked until morning. He promised his life, he was never afraid. She left him at dawn when he thought she was praying. Then he knew she was gone, no intention of staying. She had something to do, and she would not back down. He hid in the trees to see the gypsy moon dances. He fell to his knees, he was taking no chances. He was king for a day, he was never afraid. She ran with the moon till she heard the cock crowing. Not a moment too soon, she was already showing. They wanted her blood, but she would not back down. King Blue was distraught, he could feel the earth spinning. He'd always been taught love was kinda like sinning. He knew he was lost, but he was never afraid. 12 signs of the sun made their yearly rotation, but nothing was done about her situation. She had a babe in her arms, and she would not back down. No force can deny a man driven by longing. He did not know why, but the feelings were strong, and he wandered alone. He was never afraid. She mixed voodoo and love in South Louisiana. It was never enough. Pearly left for Havana. He had a babe in her arms, and she would not back down. He made a journey back east where he stood by the ocean. He had a moment of peace, then he said his devotions. King Blue was quiet, he was never afraid. She stands on the pier drinking rum and molasses. Her feelings are queer, then the worst of it passes. The child makes a noise, but he will not back down. He came to Mobile and he became quite immobile. He found a car he could steal and pretend it was noble. He headed down south, he was never afraid. She caught the first boat that would take her to Tampa. She was barely afloat, still willing to gamble. She had the keys in her mouth and she would not back down. They met once again down in Bayou La Patra. It was like they'd never been far apart. It was natural that he drowned in her fears. She was back in his arms. That baby grew old. He wore satin and gingham. He was fearless and bold. He had the keys to the kingdom. He was never afraid, and he never backed down.
Thank you so much.